Alright guys, here's my third video on the 55-inch Sony Bravia monolithic LCD 3D TV. Alright, and if you guys are wondering why you see a glare in a TV, I know that other past 3D TVs, LCD TVs, they didn't have a glare because they had the LCD on the outside of the screen. This one has a monolithic design, so the front part is a really hard glass, so you could fucking bang it with a hammer and it won't break. And that's why you see a fucking glare. But it's not bad. I can't see it on the camera, but you guys could see it a little bit more. Alright, now let's get back to the features. Like I said, it has Twitter and all that bullshit. If you guys are wondering what this little heart means, it means 3D, which is kind of fucking weird. I don't know why it's shaped in a heart, but anyways, I don't really give a shit. But if you ever purchase a 3D TV, you'll have a fucking this little sensor bar that I was talking about earlier at the end of the cord. It actually looks like a USB, but the USB port is shaped into a heart, which is a little weird, but I don't know why it's shaped as a heart. That's just the way they made it, but that's why you have it on screen. And I have the first one, of course, with my fucking Sony PlayStation 3, synced with the Sony Bravia. I want to be fancy. And video 2 I have on my files box. Right now they're coming out with a 3D files box that is not out yet, but when it comes out, I'm going to pick up that bitch and enjoy 3D TV. And I have 4 HDMI outputs, was a lot. I don't think I'll ever use 4. I have a video for like hooking up a VCR to this bitch. I don't know why you want to hook up a VCR anymore, but they have the feature. And they have component. They have 2 components, I think. And a PC output. There's a heart next to it, so it means that your fucking TV is enabled for a computer that's 3D ready, or a laptop that's 3D ready, that's coming out later this year or early next year, I think. I saw it at CES 2011. And this TV has a TV guide in it, so if you want to look at the TV guide that's in sync with your TV provider, you can actually do that without changing resolutions and going all that jubba to jubba. You can actually just press the button right here while you're playing games and just look at the TV guide, which is really handy. And you got all these fucking videos. Let me just show you what they are. You got this one where you could fucking download new apps. You got this one, what I showed you before. You got this fucking whatever the fuck that is. You got video on demand from Amazon. You got Hulu Plus, Netflix, Michael Jackson, whatever the fuck that is. You got YouTube. You got whatever the fuck that is. You got whatever the fuck that is. You got whatever the fuck that is. This is fear.net that you could fucking have free suspense and horror movies. I haven't tried it yet. But then you have some yoga fucking workouts I'll never use, and you got this shit, whatever the fuck that is, 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 whatever the fuck that is. And this is Salt. I don't know if this is just a trailer or a full movie, or just clips. I don't know, I haven't used it. You got Inside Sony Pictures, haven't used it, whatever the fuck that is, whatever the fuck that is. Whatever the fuck that is, whatever the fuck that is, whatever the fuck that is, whatever the fuck that is. You got Flickster. Haven't tried it yet, but I've tried it on my smartphone before. You got this shit. Fuck that shit. You got this shit, and you got CBS. You got a lot of apps on here you don't even know what it is, that you'll never use, but you could always download new apps. It's like having a really fucking huge smartphone above your fireplace, I gotta say. Alright, now down to music. You got Slacker, which is a radio. You got Pandora, which is radio. I actually like Pandora better than Slacker. I haven't tried it on this TV yet, but I have tried it on my smartphone. I got a BlackBerry. Then whatever the fuck that is, whatever the fuck that is, and whatever the fuck that is. Alright. And you got photo. You got this shit. You got that shit. You got this shit. And that shit. And this shit. You got samples, which samples 3D pictures and all that bullshit. That's what that heart means. Now down to settings. You got product support. You got the iManual, which is really handy. Like if you lose your handbook with the manual, if you lose the paper manual, you actually have this, which is the same fucking manual. You have all these fucking things that you could find out what's wrong with your TV, how to do everything in your TV, and all that bullshit. You know what a handbook is, don't you? You could fucking contact Sony right from your TV, call them, so you don't have to look on the internet, search for a fucking phone number. You have their website, all their phone numbers, so you don't have to fucking search the internet. And which is really nice that I just noticed is that you have the model number on screen, so you don't have to go in the back of the TV and fucking see the model. Which for new 3D TVs, you don't actually have to go in the back of your TV anymore. The TV that I had before the 3D TV that I gave it the wrong model, like I said before, the ones were on the side, so that was really smart. But this one is just right on the back that you could still see it though. It's right on this fucking far end side, which is not on the back, but you could fucking see it really good. And you got preferences, customize your fucking all this shit, clocks, language, fucking shit, all that crap. Alright, you got picture and display. I showed you that before. This is all the same shit. Almost. I got the 3D effect on auto, on. It automatically detects a fucking, a 3D fucking, video or anything that you display in 3D games. So you could just say yes when turned on. So you have to turn on by yourself. And 3D signal notification that tells you when you want to start 3D. So that's just really nice. You could change the aspect ratio of the TV into wide mode. I have it in full. Auto, wide, head on. And this crap that I never want on because it's useless. Screen position. You could change the fucking position of your TV. All that bullshit. That's it. And you got sound, which is not that great in this TV. You got that with any TV. You got channels and inputs. Manage inputs, cable antenna, which I have it on HDMI, so you don't need any fucking wire in the back of your TV. And all that bullshit. HDMI settings. Network settings. I have my thing set up Wi-Fi right now. So that's about it for about the features with the apps and all that bullshit. So that is my review for the Sony bravia 3DTV. And one thing I forgot to say is that there'll be a fourth video. This video is not over.